At 6, Britain's most senior police officer defends the arrests under controversial new legislation of 6 anti-monarchy protesters at the coronation. Sir Mark Rowley says the force had reliable intelligence that demonstrators planned to disrupt the procession. One of those arrested says he shouldn't have been held.
The idea that people suffering minor discomfort in order to ensure the kind of greater good, despite no action of illegality, I worry that's a very dangerous precedent set.
Also on the programme tonight, President Putin tells Russians they're in for a battle for their existence at the annual victory parade in Moscow. In court, the actor Stephen Tompkinson says it would be career suicide for him to assault someone, as he denies inflicting grievous bodily harm.
Instead I wrote a song, da-da-da-da-da-da.
And they're off heading to Liverpool for the first Eurovision semi-final tonight before Saturday's big showdown.
On BBC London, how safe is tube dust for our health? TfL says it isn't harmful but is carrying out more research on its impact. We'll join the teams cleaning the tracks.
In other news, Lancashire Police will not face any action over its disclosure of personal information during the search for Nicola Bulley. The force had been criticised for revealing elements of her private life. Today, the Information Commissioner's office said no enforcement action was necessary. Miss Bulley's body was found in the River Wyre in February after a 3-week search. And the chairman of Tesco has denied allegations of inappropriate touching by 2 women. 74-year-old John Allen said the allegations were simply untrue. And a barge the government plans to use to house asylum seekers has arrived in the UK. The Bibby Stockholm is in Falmouth, Cornwall tonight for inspection and repairs. The Prime Minister has been promoting his plan to expand the role of so-called primary healthcare. Pharmacists will get new powers and funding to prescribe some medicines, but some say the investment is not nearly enough.
Pharmacists are walking a tightrope at the moment, and as you know, Leila, many have closed down. And so this trend will continue if there is not real long-term strategies and investment.
Britain's most senior police officer has defended the arrest of protesters at Saturday's coronation. The Metropolitan Police Chief, Sir Mark Rowley, hit out at what he called ill-informed commentary after the arrests prompted fierce criticism. Here, energy bills are expected to fall significantly from the start of July, according to a new analysis released today. The energy consultants Cornwall Insight think the price cap on energy bills will fall to just over £2,000 for the average household. That household currently pays £2,500 after government subsidies.
Jermaine Cools became the youngest victim of knife crime in the capital at just 14 years old. Today, his teen killer was jailed for life. We'll hear from Jermaine's dad about what he calls his senseless killing.
Where's the justice? There's no justice. He gets 17 years, 19 years, my son gone for life. There's no justice.
Also ahead tonight, the Mayor calls for a review into the policing of the coronation in a letter to the Met Commissioner after 64 protesters were detained ahead of Saturday's event. Plus, we meet the singer who had just 72 hours notice that he would be performing in front of millions in the King's coronation concert. And
Instead I wrote a song about how you did me wrong. I could have cried at home.
as the Eurovision Song Contest gets underway, we hear how Londoners are getting behind Kentish Town's May Muller ahead of Saturday night's final. Police are treating the death of a 36-year-old woman who died from serious injuries in hospital after an incident in Dartford as murder. Officers were called on Saturday afternoon after reports of gunshots. The 29-year-old man, also taken to hospital, is said to be in a critical condition. The first anniversary of the opening of the Elizabeth line will see it hit by strike action that could force part of the line to close. The industrial action on May the 24th is part of a dispute with Transport for London over pay.